The envelope was thick and cream-colored, the same expensive paper her mother used every year. When Olivia slid out the card, she saw the familiar smear of cloned grass where her body should have been.
3rd year in a row.
The card's family portrait showed her brother and parents, and a smeared green nothing where she should have been.
Mom, it happened again. I am not in the card.
Oh, honey, the printer must have glitched again. You know how these online orders are.
This is the 3rd year, Mom. 3 different printers.
Olivia, you are being paranoid. It's just a holiday card.
Olivia ended the call and stared at the DNA test kit she'd bought after the second erasure, still unopened on her coffee table.
What are you so afraid of, Mom?
By evening, the sample was in the mail, and the wait began. She stepped into the living room and froze. The new family portrait hung above the mantel, a glossy 16x20, where Olivia had once stood. There was now only a clumsy blur of gray wall.
She erased me from the walls.
In the dining room, Robert sorted mail. Linda and Andrew were at the table, eating. Olivia's voice was too loud.
Dad, have you looked at the new portrait in the living room? Really looked?
Your mother said the photographer cropped it wrong. She'll have it redone.
That's not cropping. She painted me out of the family.
Olivia, stop. You are making a scene.
Seriously, Liv, it's just a picture. Chill.
Olivia looked from Robert's confusion to Linda's frozen anger to Andrew's bored shrug. She turned, and the door clicked shut behind her. Back home, she sat on the couch. The DNA company's email glowed on her laptop. Sample received. Processing had begun. The tracker said processing. She refreshed it a dozen times, then a dozen more. In the bottom of her closet, she found a baby album, a photo of her at 6 months, cradled in Robert's arms.
I don't have his eyes or his chin.
That night, she texted a friend about the erased card. The reply: "Maybe you are seeing things. Printers do glitch."
Maybe I'm losing my mind.
But the wall portrait wasn't a glitch, and neither was the cloned grass. She set her jaw and closed the messaging app. 3 days later, an email from the lab lit up her screen. "Your sample has entered final analysis." She read it 4 times, then 5.
Just a few more days. Then nobody can say I am imagining things.
She shut the laptop and sat in the thickening silence, the waiting its own kind of wound. The phone buzzed on the couch arm, Linda's name flashing cold on the screen. Olivia's thumb hovered, then tapped accept.
What do you want, Mom?
I am finalizing Christmas dinner. Will you be there, or are you going to make another scene like last time?
You photoshopped me out of 3 cards in the living room wall. I think I've earned the right to ask why.
I've told you it's a printer error. You are acting like a conspiracy theorist. It's embarrassing, honestly.
No, you are embarrassed. That's why you erased me. But I am about to find out exactly what you are hiding.
You have no idea what you are talking about. You are ungrateful, Olivia. After everything I've done for you.
The line went dead. Linda had hung up without a goodbye. Olivia sat alone, phone limp in her hand, the silence roaring like a verdict. Then the screen blinked. A new email. "Your DNA results. Final processing. Expected within 72 hours.
3 days until the truth sat on this screen, and no one could call me paranoid again.
While the 72 hours crawled, Olivia opened Facebook. A notification showed her mother had untagged her from every Christmas photo from the past decade.
She's scrubbing me from the digital world, too.
The family photo album she'd always shared now showed access denied. Linda had blocked her from the digital MasterCard. Desperate for a crack in the silence, she called her grandmother Catherine at the nursing home. The phone rang 7 times.
Hello, Olivia? You sound like you've been crying.
Grandma, what happened the summer before Mom married Dad? In 1996.
Oh, child, that was a complicated summer. Linda went away for a month, and when she came back, she was different. Quiet.
Different? How? Please, Grandma. You are the only one who might tell me the truth.
I can't. Your mother made me promise. But when you were born, the timing never added up. Think about that.
The line went quiet. Olivia sat alone, but now she had a year, a season, and a missing month. The dinner invitation landed like a command. Olivia arrived to the smell of roast and a new framed portrait on the wall. Professionally edited, no trace of her left.
They paid someone to erase me.
The table was set for 4. Her chair felt like a prop. Linda smiled like a pageant queen. Robert poured wine. Andrew scrolled his phone.
The new portrait looks expensive.
We wanted a proper family photo. That old one was so cluttered.
Olivia chewed in silence, watching her brother shift peas, her father avoid her eyes. The empty space beside her stretched wider with every bite. After plates cleared, she found Robert in the den. His face dimmed when she asked if he'd noticed the missing daughter.
I saw it. Your mother said you asked to be removed, that you needed space.
And you believed that. Dad, she's erasing me, and you are letting her.
Robert opened his mouth, closed it. Olivia walked out into the cold. Back home, she sat alone, the truth closer than ever, and still days away. The next morning, Olivia used her spare key, lying about old decorations. The attic ladder groaning, she climbed through the hatch. In a box marked Linda, high school, she found the yearbook. It fell open to 1996. A boy's picture had a tiny heart drawn beside it. The name Frank, underlined in faded blue ink.
Frank?
Her chest clamped. Grandma's clue, the missing month, the erased photos, it all pointed to this name.
The timing never added up. Catherine said so.
She photographed the page, the heart bright against the yellowing paper.
I have a name, a face.
She left the key on the counter and drove home, the image searing into her mind. Back on her couch, she stared at the teenage Frank's smile. Knowing the DNA answer was now only hours away, she typed Frank and the high school name into Facebook. One profile appeared. The face made her hands still. The man had her eyes, her chin, a retired schoolteacher in Oregon. Frank, he never married, no children. Her mother had drawn a heart next to his name 27 years ago. The phone vibrated. A new email from the DNA lab. Your results are now available. She tapped the link with a trembling index finger. The screen blooming white. The website loaded slowly. A spinning circle. A message. Please wait while we prepare your results. Olivia lowered the laptop lid, then raised it again. The cursor blinked. The page began to rebuild itself.
Please, let me be wrong.
The screen flickered. A colored band appeared, then another. The word match emerged from the loading fog. Olivia froze. Whatever loaded next would rewrite 27 years. The loading bar crept forward a millimeter, then froze. Olivia's breath snagged in her throat. The screen flickered.
Grandma's voice, Frank's yearbook smile, the wall portrait with nothing where I stood. All of it collapsed into this loading bar.
Her reflection in the laptop glass was pale and drawn. A woman suspended between two identities.
If Robert isn't my father, then my entire life was built on a script I didn't choose.
The spinning circle rotated, calculating relationship. The screen read, then vanished.
She heard Linda's voice. You are paranoid. Maybe she was.
An amber bar bloomed on the screen. The exact shade as the Christmas lights that had glowed over the portrait, where she no longer existed.
Please? Please? No, not Frank. Not my whole life a counterfeit.
The numbers sharpened, and the screen cut to black. A ruthless edit. Olivia sat in that silent dark, the truth a millisecond away. Her heart not beating, the screen blinked on. 2 lines burned into her vision. 49.7% shared DNA with Frank and Robert Reeves, not your biological father.
Number. No, that can't be right.
Her thumb swiped to call Linda before her brain caught up. The line clicked open on the second ring.
Olivia, it's late. What do you want?
I know about Frank. The DNA test came back. He's my father. not Dad.
That's absurd. Those tests are unreliable. I don't know any Frank.
Frank M. 49.7% match. The yearbook heart from 1996. Grandma's clue about your complicated summer. Stop lying.
I was going to tell you. I saw his profile 2 years ago and panicked. I thought if you never knew, the family would survive. It was one summer. I came back, married Robert, and let him believe you were his. I've been erasing you to erase my guilt.
Olivia let the silence stretch, the confession hanging in the static. She ended the call without another word. The truth was finally out. The call with Linda left a hollow ache that filled the apartment. Olivia sat on the couch and opened Frank's Facebook profile again.
I have to reach out. He deserves to know I exist.
She clicked message and typed 4 words that would alter 2 lives. I think you might be my father. An hour later, she parked down the street from Robert's house. Through the living room window, she watched him reading, a lamp glowing beside his chair.
I can't break him tonight. I don't know how.
She drove home. The words she couldn't say lodged like a stone in her throat. The next morning, her phone buzzed. Frank's reply glowed on the screen. I never knew. Please call me.
He didn't know. He's not angry.
Now she had 2 fathers, one who raised her without blood and one who had never been given the chance. And she still couldn't tell the one who mattered most. Olivia dialed the Oregon number with trembling fingers, her lungs squeezing tight.
Hello? Is this Olivia?
When she whispered yes, his breath caught, a half sob escaping the receiver.
I never married. I always wondered if that summer left something behind. I just never imagined. You. Can we meet? There's a park about halfway. I'll drive whatever distance you need.
Olivia agreed, voice steady. But before she could set the phone down, a cascade of Linda's texts lit up the screen. Please don't tell Robert. You'll destroy the family. You don't understand what you are doing. Olivia read each word once, then turned off notifications. The silence was a choice.
I can't protect her guilt anymore. Not when it cost me a father.
Saturday, 3 p.m., a park halfway. She had one father to meet, and the other one to finally tell. Olivia rounded the path and saw a gray-haired man alone on the bench, twisting a paper coffee cup. He looked exactly like his profile photo, except now he was trembling.
You have my mother's eyes. No. Mine. You have my eyes.
He tried to laugh, but the tears came anyway. His hand hovered, then fell, as if he needed permission to claim the shape of her face.
It's okay. You can touch. I think I need to know this is real too.
I brought photos. My classroom, my garden, my life, everything I wanted to share with someone. I just didn't know it would be my daughter.
After a long while, Olivia reached into her bag and handed him the creased Christmas card, the green smudge where she had been erased. Frank's face crumpled.
She erased you because of me. Because she was afraid I would find you.
She's been running from it for 2 years, but I am done running.
I don't want to replace Robert. I just want to be whatever you'll let me be.
Olivia nodded, the ache in her chest equal parts grief and hope. She had a father now, the one biology had hidden. But before she could keep him, she had to risk losing the one who raised her. Olivia came home to silence. Before she could process the park bench, her phone rang. Robert's name blinked.
Linda hasn't stopped crying. She won't talk to me. Olivia, what is going on?
Dad, I need to tell you something. Not over the phone. Can you meet me Saturday at the coffee shop on Maple? Telling him over the line would be too easy. He needs to see my face, and maybe Frank's too.
She called Frank before she could lose the nerve. He answered on the first ring. She asked if he would sit with her at the coffee shop, with Robert.
If you need me there, I'll be there. Whatever helps.
She opened her messages and composed a single note, copying both men. Saturday, 3 p.m. The cafe on Maple. I'll be there with someone you both need to meet. An hour later, Robert's reply came. I'll be there. Frank's followed. I'll drive down early, looking forward. She stared at the screen long after it dimmed, the lives of 3 people gathered into a single invitation. The truth was no longer just hers to carry. The knock came fast and desperate. Through the peephole, Linda's face was pale and wild.
I know about Saturday. You can't bring them together. Robert will leave me. The family will shatter. After all I did to keep this family together. You owe me.
You didn't keep a family together. You erased me. Robert deserves the truth you buried.
He'll never forgive me. You are killing the only family you have.
The only family I have? I just met my biological father because you lied. Your guilt isn't my problem.
Please, I'll do anything. I'll put you back in the photos. Just don't do this.
Olivia's voice dropped to something quiet and final. A door closing before the door itself moved.
Go home, Linda. The meeting is happening.
Linda stood frozen, then turned, her sobs echoing down the hallway. Olivia closed the door and leaned her forehead against it, the jam cool against her skin. Saturday, 2:38 p.m. Olivia sat alone in the cafe, rehearsing words under her breath, her palms damp against the ceramic mug.
Just tell the truth. Don't lose Robert.
The door chimed. Robert stepped in, scanning the room. When he saw her, he approached slowly, his face tight with confusion.
Olivia, why here? Who else are we meeting?
Just wait, Dad. Please. He'll be here any minute.
The door chimed again. Frank paused on the threshold, his eyes finding Olivia's, then darting to Robert. The air thickened.
This must be him. The man who raised my daughter.
The 2 men faced each other, questions unspoken. Olivia motioned to the empty chairs, and both sat, the table a narrow bridge between 2 different lives.
I asked you both here because you are both my fathers, and there's something I need you to know.
The cafe hummed softly around them. Olivia drew a breath, the weight of 27 years pressing against her ribs.
Dad, Robert, the Christmas cards, the missing walls. I took a DNA test. It says Frank is my biological father. Mom had an affair the summer before you married. She's been hiding it. I just found out.
I never knew she existed until this week. I never married, never had children. I am not here to take your place.
Robert's expression went blank, then tight. He didn't look at Frank, only at Olivia. The silence stretched until the coffee machine gurgled behind the counter.
You are still mine, kid.
She felt the pressure of his hand, warm and steady, the same hand that had taught her to ride a bike. Her throat closed.
Frank.
They shook, 2 men, with nothing in common but a daughter. The grip was brief, but it wasn't hostile. Olivia exhaled. Not because everything was fixed, but because the truth had finally been given a seat at the table. The cafe noise returned, spoons against cups, low voices. But at their table, the air had rearranged itself into something new. A year had passed since the coffee shop. Linda and Robert divorced cleanly, and she'd moved to Arizona, leaving only an address. Robert and Frank, against all odds, had become friends, 2 older men trading gardening tips and teaching a little girl how to skip stones.
Grandpa Robert, Grandpa Frank, come stand with us.
They gathered under the tree. 4 figures where once there had been none. Olivia, her daughter, and the 2 men who had each lost and found a family.
Don't forget to center Liv this time. She's the whole reason we're here.
As if we'd ever let her be erased again.
The shutter clicked. A week later, the printed card arrived, and Olivia sat at her desk, assembling them one by one. The front showed the 4 of them. No smudges, no missing spaces, just a family that had refused to stay hidden.
3 years. I wasn't in this picture. Now the picture is mine.
She sealed one envelope, then another. There was one address she would send without a note, an Arizona zip code, where a woman who'd chosen silence would now receive the loudest truth. The sun was setting when Olivia walked to the corner mailbox. The envelope cornered with Linda's address. She held it for a moment, then dropped it through the slot. The metal flap fell back with a soft finality. 3 days later, in a quiet Arizona complex, Linda opened her door and found a cream envelope with no return name. She tore it open, and the card slid out. Olivia, a little girl, Robert, Frank, all smiling. No note, no message.
I erased her to keep him. And now they have each other, and I have nothing. I did this. I erased myself.
Back in Olivia's living room, she set her own copy on the mantle, the Christmas lights catching the glossy paper.
3 Christmases. I was invisible. Not anymore.
She took a step back, and the card stood out against the warm brick. A family finally whole. The erased had become the center. Later that evening, Olivia curled on the couch with Chloe, the old family album open across their laps.
Mommy, why aren't you in this picture? It looks like someone cut you out.
Someone made a mistake, sweetheart, but we fixed it.
Like the new one on the fireplace? That's my favorite.
Olivia lifted her chin toward the mantle, where the new card glowed in soft light. She pulled Chloe closer.
That's our real family now. Grandpa Robert, Grandpa Frank, you, and me. No one's missing.
I like having 2 grandpas.
Chloe's small hand patted the album page, then pointed toward the mantle. Mother and daughter sat in the quiet, the past acknowledged but no longer sharp. The Christmas lights flickered, and Olivia's gaze settled on the card, the image of 4 people who had chosen to be whole.
I used to be invisible. Now I am right where I belong.
The door chimed, and both men stepped inside. Robert with a bag of pastries, Frank holding a small toy for Chloe.
Grandpa Robert! Grandpa Frank!
They gathered around the coffee table, mugs clinking, the Christmas card glowing on the mantel above them.
Seems like yesterday we were sitting in that cafe. Now here we are.
Best coffee I ever had. And it wasn't the drink.
Olivia laughed. Chloe curled on her lap, the room filled with an easy warmth that had once seemed impossible. Her gaze drifted to the card on the mantel, the same family she'd once been erased from, now redefined with her at the center.
I was erased. Now I am the center.
She looked at the 2 men who had each chosen to be a father, and at the little girl who would grow up knowing she was fully seen. Outside, the Christmas lights blinked. Inside, the family sat together, whole. The living room settled into silence, the warmth of the visit still lingering in the air. The Christmas card stood on the mantel, a small rectangle of light against the brick. 4 faces, no smudges, no gaps. Just a family that refused to be defined by a lie. In the end, Olivia didn't just find a father. She built a family that refused to erase her. The years of being photoshopped out, the gaslighting, the secret, all of it collapsed into this single, defiant image. A photograph couldn't undo the past, but it could declare what was true, and what had always been true. And the truth was simple. She was never meant to be invisible. The card stayed on the mantel, a quiet witness to everything that had changed and all that remained. And as the last light dimmed, the family in the picture remained whole, undeniably hers, and ready for all the Christmases to come.